All right, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Morning Market Review. If you can actually hear me, just drop me a message. Let me know that you can actually hear me. If you can hear me, just drop a message. I Can you hear me? All right, Mr. Okwaogun. Yes, you can hear me. And I feel others can also hear me too. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So I believe it's a very good way to start today. All right, so my name is Oluwafemi, and I'm gonna be your own host for today's edition on Money Market Review. All right, and while we just wait for others, let me just share some few tips about what is happening in the market and the state of the international system at the moment. And before I go on further, let me reiterate this because I get a lot of message from clients every day asking if the market is actually different from gambling, and this is what I tell them. Have you ever been to a shop where they play Bet Naija or probably where they play Baba Ijebu? One thing you see from I want us to actually take something from their life this morning as we analyze markets. I want us to actually take something from their life this morning because it's something I've done before now. All right. If for somebody who wants to play Baba Ijebu, I discovered that they bring out a chart as far back as 1998 to study down that particular chart from 1998 down to 2024, or let's say 2023. If they can do this just to get just one number, I believe you as a trader, you can actually go back in time, check what has happened in your charts for a very long time, and also get the best from this particular chart. It tells us about how apt your understanding as well as analysis of technical should be. You should actually be able to checkmate what has price done before now and what is it going to do recently. And recently we had a how do I call it now? We had a seminar, or do I say a training in Lagos, which I was actually opportune to take. And it was on a Saturday where we talked about smart money concepts. Smart money concept. I believe everyone should actually go back to our books to learn about smart money concepts because I feel it's one of the few things that would give us money in this present dispensation because it's from these smart money concepts that you talk about change of character, change in structure or break of structure. You tend to talk about how do I call it now? You tend to talk about trends, order blocks, liquidity, and the likes. And I can actually tell you that if you're able to learn about some of these things, you get the best. You get the best from your own trading experience. All right, so away from that, let's look at what the market has for us, as well as different positions which we could take cue from for this morning. Now, majorly the dominant theme which is actually happening in the global financial system as we speak is centered on what we call recession, in the sense that if you look at every country, talk about GBP, talk about CAD, talk about the Eurozone in itself, you talk about Chinese yuan, as well as all these developed economies. One thing you'd tend to see with them is that there has actually been a case of a rapid inflation in all these areas. And just like I told us from the last time I come, this is more or less like coinciding with what we had in 2000 um six, which is more or less like a global recession. And I can actually tell you every economy is actually battling with recession and the likes. And what they're actually looking at doing is to say, fine, is it time for us to actually increase our own interest rate, or should we maintain it the way which we have it. All right, is it time for us to actually have it or maintain it the same way we have it? And you can actually see that for this week that is actually ending today, the dominant thing which or the dominant economic measure which we had was FOMC, which we talk about Federal Open Market Committee, and some of the projections of Federal Open Market Committee this week, and why it did also got to the extent whereby dollar lost much of its strength, is to talk about whether there's going to be an increase in their own interest rates. But from what we actually did see and did decipher from the market, you are able to see that the Fed could not even increase the interest rate. And this is due to the fact that, one, before interest rates could actually be reviewed, firstly, we need to know, or how do I call it now? We need to know or talk about, one, what's the inflation figure in that particular region. What's the inflation figure as of now, and how or what are they doing to combat some of these things? All right. Until when all these questions can actually be done and can actually be curtailed, it's until then that we have a full capacity of what the market would likely seem to be. All right, so for today, looking at our chart, would want to look at Forex Factory, as well as decipher some of the news that are actually affecting the market. Let's look at some of the news that are actually affecting the market. Now, for at the early hours of today, we had National Core CPI, which is Consumer Price Index, which is also one of the greatest economic measures or indicators for knowing what an economy is doing, what our economy is actually doing. All right, so the CPI for JPY actually came out positive for this morning, and it was around 2.8%. And we had GBP around 1 a.m., which actually came out negative for them, and you can actually see the figure. All right, so for 8 a.m. this morning, we had German import prices, and the import prices actually did fell, which is actually a very good one. And when I mean is a very good one, there's also called trade balance. And when we talk about trade balance, you are looking at how much of an export you had compared to how much of an import you had. And it actually did state that if you have much import, it means your economy is more like a dumping ground for the developed economies, and a country that is actually subservient to other countries would not really do so well. So we have this issues. All right, so and we saw that that particular news actually did, came out positive, in the sense that there was a reduction in how much or what they actually did imported for this particular quarter or period that we are looking at. And for GBP rather, we have retail sales, and it came out positive also. And all news are actually focused on what's next to happen by 10 a.m. on Eurozone, and by 12 p.m. we'll be having series of news on GBP, and by 1:30 we had Canadian dollars, their own retail sales news is going to be coming up by then. And by 2 o'clock too, we have a lot of news from Eurozone. But I can actually say that for today, my bias on Eurozone would actually be more of a buy for the Eurozone, because we're actually having this Euro Summit. And from this Euro Summit meeting that we are having, most of what would actually be discussed in this particular meeting would be how to actually get their economy working, and some of the things they could do. All right, then also by 3 p.m. Belgian NBB business climate, and by 5 p.m. as well as 9 p.m. we are going to be having the FOMC member Bar speaking, as well as Bostic speaking by 9 also, which we actually did expect that well, it should give some level of momentum to the market. But just as we can actually see, this particular news for USD is around 5 p.m. as well as 9 p.m., which might not really give us how do I call it now? A lot of people will have actually gone out of the market, except if you're actually a swing trader. That's when you might likely be in the market by 5 o'clock and 9 p.m. All right, then the additional news which we have from Forest Factory, we can actually see says China welcomes Australia ending anti-dumping measures on wind towers. China welcomes Australia ending anti-dumping measures on wind towers. So when we talk about anti-dumping, it means you are not just going to a country to actually dump your goods. So it's actually a very good measure, and it will help their own trade surplus. All right, then trade balance rather. Then we also see from this particular news too that Bank of England governor Bailey reaffirms that rate cut this year is not unreasonable. And if you are looking at this, I can actually tell you that rate cuts would actually be what would develop economics more, because it would actually allow room for investors to actually come in on board and to actually, deal with you very well. So, but just like they said, it says Bank of England Governor Bailey reaffirms that rate cut this year is not unreasonable, which means that, or let me just cast us back to what happened last year. Last year we had more of this in terms of the economy got worse more last year in terms of what we had inflation figures to be, but yet they never did increase their interest rate. So we might actually see most of these companies not increasing their interest rate also for this year, and I can actually tell you, but they will want to do all in their capacity to actually curtail inflation, because the thing is, if it's happening to just one country, that's when we can actually say that, okay, fine, I think it's your country that has a problem. But this is something that is happening to um every country, so it's something they would learn to live with, and probably at the end of the day find a way around it, maybe when the economy turns around for everybody. All right, China says US subsidies, tax incentives for domestic chip sector discriminating. China says US subsidies, tax incentives for domestic chip sector discriminating. Now this one that I just did read here now would only work more with China, because most of the chips that are actually being provided or produced by Nvidia as well as some other chip sector are actually coming from China, and some of these incentives is only for domestic chip sector. It means it's for what US is actually doing now. Let me explain this for you now. It says China says US subsidies, tax incentives for domestic chip sector discriminating. Now, what China is actually expecting is that, fine, since most of the companies in most of the companies in China are being owned by people in US. Now, they should actually extend some kind of incentives as well as tax cuts for them in China. But what US is trying to do here is this: okay, if you are a company and you're actually domiciled in on US soil and you're doing some of these things, we'll give you incentives. Why do you think they're doing that? They're actually trying to woo investors. Come down to our land, come and do. It's just like Nigeria saying that, okay, fine, for most of how do I put this now? Yes, this is a very good example. Nigeria can say, for most you'd see, if you take a poll at some cars that are actually being brought into Nigeria, you'd see that Toyota, Benz, as well as Lexus will take more. Now, Nigeria can say that, okay, fine. Since when you look at also when you look at average number of people driving some of these cars, I feel Nigeria is also one of the highest consumers of some of these vehicles. Now, Nigeria can say, we want to give you a tax cut if you can actually bring down your manufacturing plants down in Nigeria. What that actually means is that our economy will actually do what? Do so well, because they would actually a lot of people will be employed and the likes, and it will also improve our own economy. All right, then aside that, we have Asian money bite, Swiss franc plunges following SMB surprise rate cut. Now, so Swiss surprise rate cuts. So their Swiss franc actually plunges. Now, China State Bank seen buying yuan in onshore FX market. Then Bank of Japan governor Ueda says Bank of Japan JGB holdings will remain at current rate. Australian mortgage arrears at highest level since pandemic began. So this is just to tell you of some of the other challenges which we are actually seeing or having on the international system at the moment. All right. Now, let me share my screen for us to actually see different opportunities which we can actually see or have in the market for today. All right. So for today, let's see, and we'll start from dollar index. All right. Let's start from dollar index. Dollar index. Good. Now, I believe all right, good. I believe you can all see my screen now. Dollar index. We've actually seen the dollar doing more of what we call, just hold on. Good. All right, so for this particular week, we've actually seen the dollar doing more of a recovery, at least back to how do I call it now, surpassing where it did opened for this particular week. Now, this particular week, we actually saw the dollar opening at this particular point. We saw the dollar opening at this particular point. And for this week also, for the FOMC news that we had, it actually did implemented what we saw on the dollar, and that's why we can actually see much of this particular sell. But just like we do say in the market, there's what we call fair value gap. And when we talk about fair value gap, it actually means that when you have three candles in succession, when you have three candles in succession coming downward and making a kind of impact, we always see the market at least doing a kind of full-blown cover, or at least a kind of 75% coverage of that particular thing. And we can actually see that from what the market did on Wednesday, yesterday being Thursday, market did a full recovery, and this was what we had covering up to where market fell down from before. And this talks about fair value gap. All right. Now, looking at what we have for the market for today, we can actually see that our market did break above what we had it doing before, and we can now say that there is more or less like what we call a change in character. On Wednesday, we had a change in character whereby from an uptrend, market went more of a downtrend, and for today too, we can actually see that we are having more of an uptrend since yesterday. Now, looking at this particular market, what we can actually do, you can enter for an instant execution on this particular market. Yes, can enter for an instant execution on this particular market, while you tend to take your profit around this particular region. Now, you can take your profit around price level 103.981, 103.981, 103.981. That's if you are looking at entering for an instant execution on this market. Enter at instant execution while you take your profits at 103.981. This is actually for a buy. Now, looking at what the market has actually been doing for Euro USD, just like we did said, for Euro USD, most of what markets did, we had the market doing more of a buy, and going in favor of doing more of a buy, and I'm going in favor of Eurozone. That was yesterday, and one, this is due to the fact that FOMC decisions that actually came out, there was no power from that particular speech, and for most of what they tried to do, markets still went not in their favor, because they are not actually cutting their interest rate. All right, so for today, on this particular instrument, looking at what the market is doing, we can actually see that there is a break in structure. There is a break in structure because market has actually been doing more of it did more of an uptrend here, and we can actually see that it's been able to actually break this place. Now we had double bottom here. We had a double bottom here, and as of this morning, it's been able to actually break that double bottom, consider telling us that market will do more of a sell for today. All right, so this is market on 1 hour time frame. Let me look at 4 hours to be able to analyze the recent area that we might possibly be having. All right, so we might look at this and also look at this area. Then alternatively for a buy, let me take it here and also conclude here. Now taking it back on 1 hour time frame, let me see that position. Good. Now on 1 hour time frame, enter for a sell on Euro USD at price level 1.08227. 1.08227. Euro USD 1.08227. Then take profit at 1.08159. All right. Then alternatively for the buy, you can enter for a buy at price level 1.08324. 1.08324. While you can take your profits at 1.08388. All right, that's that for Euro USD. That's that for Euro USD. All right. Now let's look at GBP USD. Standing on the same news which has actually been affecting USD, we can actually see that on Wednesday that USD did crumbled due to the fact that there was no increase in the interest rate. But one thing that I've come to also see is that USD is starting to self-regulate itself. Now, USD is what is starting to actually self-regulate itself, because if you look at what markets did for most of this week, if not for that particular change that we had on Wednesday, our market did much of a sell. Now, it did more of a sell. If not for that, what we had, markets did more of a sell. Now, looking at this particular instrument, would see on 4 hours. Can you see? You can actually see on 4 hours that market is actually coming to test this particular area. It's coming to actually test this particular area. Market is actually coming to test this particular area. But also on 1 hour time frame, you'd see that the market is also, or might also get itself rejected at this particular point where it is. Look at this particular line that this horizontal line that crosses. Now at the point where market got here, it got rejected and went up. The same thing for this area, the same thing for this area, and the same thing for this area. But this is where price is actually heading to next. This is where price is actually heading to next, and I actually expect price to come back and do a double bottom of what we had here, and also complete this double bottom at this particular point here. Now on 4 hours time frame, let me look at entering at this particular point, and I'm taking it at this particular resistance support, and I'm also at this particular point too. But let's go to 1 hour time frame to see what entries where it's actually going to lead us. Now this particular market, enter for a sell on GBP USD at price level 1.26091. 1.26091. 1.26091. $1.26091. Why you take your profit at 1.25996. 1.25996. Then you can enter for a buy at price level 1.26192. 1.26192, while you take your profit at 1.26319. 1.26319. All right. But at the other end of it, at the long run, while you are looking at this particular instrument, if you are looking to swing trade, you might want to look at it on 4 hours time frame. If you look at the market on 4 hours time frame, immediately the market touches this particular place, you can actually come and set a buy limit at this particular point. You can come and set a buy limit at this particular point, owing to the fact that once market gets here, then it gets reversed back, or you can do a buy limit. But that's just if you want to swing trade. All right, let's look at USD JPY, USD JPY, USD JPY. Now, for USD JPY also, you'd also see and discover that market has been more of an uptrend too, in the sense that it has been more of a favorable market for the dollar. Just like I said, dollar is weak. It will appear weak, but gradually or unconsciously won't pay attention to it. But you see that it's actually gaining its strength back into the market. It's actually gaining its strength back to the market. So what we can actually do is to look at some of the news which actually did affected JPY for this particular week. And I'm looking at some news which did affected JPY for this particular week. You can actually see that at the early hours of this morning, we had their own national core CPI, and this national core CPI did came out at least to a certain degree. It came out very well for them. All right, it came out very well for them, and that's why we actually had the markets doing more of a sell at the early hours of this morning also. All right, so for today on this particular instrument, I would be looking at at least taking a sell to this point, but my bias on this particular instrument would actually be a buy in favor of USD, at least for it to actually cover up. All right, and looking at this on 30 minutes time frame, okay, I think it's still within the range. All right, so for this particular instrument, enter for a buy on USD JPY. Enter for a buy on USD JPY. USD JPY, you can enter for a buy at price level 151.552, while you take your profit at price level 151.720. Then you can enter for a sell at price level 151.370, while you take your profit at price level 151.211. 151.211. All right. Now, let's go to USD card. Now, USD card to a certain degree also has been benefiting from the sales in oil, has actually been benefiting from the sales in oil, as we all know that the Canadian dollar is actually a petroeconomical kind of economy, whereby it actually did get so much from whatever oil is doing at the moment. And you can actually see that USD is actually back to its winning ways. USD is actually back to its winning ways. And for a position on USD card for today, let's look at this on okay, let's look at this on 4 hours time frame, while we come back to check it on a lower time frame. All right, this is 4 hours time frame. Let me look at it on 1 hour time frame. Good. All right, and on 30 minutes time frame, let's look at where it is. All right, fantastic. All right, now for today on USD card, for today on USD CAD, we can enter for a buy on USD CAD at price level 1.35755, 1.35755, while we take our profits at price level 1.35841, 1.35841. Now, alternatively, we can enter for a sell on this particular instrument at price level 1.35664, while we'll take our profits at price level 1.35584, 1.35584, 1.35584, 1.35584. All right. Now, we'll go next to see what we have on USD CAD. Sorry, NZD USD. NZD USD. This particular instrument still refers to itself as one of my favorite instruments. Yes, it's still one of my favorite instruments. And for NZD USD, we can actually see that just like I said, dollar has actually been gaining much of the momentum, and it's been reserving itself some of the major shares, at least do I say gains, for this particular week. But looking at this particular instrument now, yes, if you want to look at this particular instrument, you'd see that on 4 hours time frame, yes, this is 4 hours time frame, this market is actually closer to an untested support, or do I say to a support region. But I want to be able to see what has happened in time past, so I need to also go to 1 hour, one day to see last place it did touched. And on one day, you can actually see that there is more like this is a support for one day. And also let me see if I can take it here. Now, because it's one day, the entries has to be very, very close to each other, because by the time we go on smaller time frame, you see how far apart some of these things can be. Now, let's go back to 4 hours time frame to see how close it is. Now, on 4 hours time frame, what I did is showing me that I'm still entering at a very good rate. But let's look at the exit also. So go back to 1 hour, and on 1 hour, I want to enter at below this verified support, which makes it a very good market for me. Okay, so I can enter below the verified support while I take my okay. All right, let me go down to 30 minutes time frame. This is what this also how you do a kind of top-down analysis. All right. Okay, good. Now, for this particular instrument for today on NZD USD, NZD USD, NZD USD, you might want to enter for a buy on NZD USD at price level 0.60120, 0.60120, while you take your profit at 0.60252, 0.60120, while you take your profit at 0.60252. Alternatively, for a sell, enter for a sell at 0.59950, 0.59950, while you take your profit at 0.59801, 0.59950, while you take your profit at 0.59801. All right. We'll go to GBP CAD, and from there we'll move to every other instrument which would want. All right. GBP CAD now. So for GBP CAD, we can actually see that the market has been profiting more from what Canadian dollar is actually doing. Yes, is actually been profiting more from what Canadian dollar is actually doing. And if you look at what Canadian dollar is doing, just like I said, it's been profiting more from the sales of oil. It's actually been profiting more from sales in oil. And also, if you look at the Great Britain pounds, more nothing much has actually been said from this instruments in this region, because the market is how do I call it now? Um, how do I call it now? So market has actually been profiting from oil. So we can today look at this particular instrument to do more of that. We can actually look at this particular instrument to do more of that. All right. So let me look at what this instrument is doing on 4 hours time frame. Look at this instrument now on 4 hours time frame. You see that we are having this double bottom too. I believe you can actually see this double bottom. It's actually happened there, and price got rejected. It happened there, and we actually expecting it to at least come down to touch this particular region before we have this um all right, movement. So for today, we can enter for a buy at this point while we take our profit at this point. And for a sell, I'm actually considering entering below. That is if price breaks below this area. Now let me look at this on smaller time frame. Let's look at it on 1 hour to see. Okay, fine. Looking at 1 hour time frame, you'd see that my entry is too far. So what I can actually do is to bring it close by. What I can actually do is to bring it close by. So on this particular instrument, GBPCAD, you can enter for a buy on GBPCAD. You can enter for a buy on GBPCAD. All right, enter for a buy on GBPCAD at price level 1.71178. Why you take your profits at price level 1.71314. Then alternatively, enter for a sell at price level 1.71032. Why you take your profit at price level 1.70874. 1.70874. 1.70874. All right. Now let's go to oil. And I think we have to make it faster this time around. Now, when we look at oil, as regards most of the news which we've actually been having for oil, you can actually see that there has been so much profit that OPEC has actually been making from oil, and also there has been so many inclusions of different countries that has actually been added to this. But presently, we can actually see that when we look at oil inventories, we have a lot in stock. And what I did posited is that we would have US trying to get so much oil for itself, only for them to now subsidize the price of oil. And also oil slips on possible Gaza ceasefire. All right, oil slips on possible Gaza ceasefire. This is some of the news which is actually affecting oil at the moment, the ceasefire from Gaza. All right, then aside that too, also, in as much as dollar to a certain degree is getting stronger too, it's actually giving so much concerns for oil at the moment now, because it means US on its own can actually decide to do whatever they like as regards that too. Then China also China gloom sucks life out of rate cuts. share in Asia, which actually tells us of the fact that China are not really progressing, and they're actually cutting so much of their supplies, and this is also affecting oil at the moment. Though if you look at the market, market is actually at a place whereby we can actually call a turncoat. Yes, we can actually call it a turncoat, and I'm actually expecting that there would be a bounce. Yes, I'm actually expecting that there will be a bounce in what oil will do for today. At least I'm expecting oil to actually cover up this particular gap down, which we actually are seeing, and we can actually look at taking a favorable positions on oil for today on those things. All right, so for today on oil, let's do it this way. We can enter for oil, we can enter for a sell on oil at price level 84.39, while we take our profit at price level 84.06. All right. Then alternatively, we can enter for a buy on oil at 84.88, while you take your profit at price level 85.21. All right, that's for oil. That's for oil. Then let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. Gold has actually did profited. Yes, gold has actually did profited from the weakness in dollar, and getting to more like the highest high of the moment. Now, take for an example, let's look at our chart. This is a chart on a daily time frame. Let me look at weekly to see where it has been on weekly. Let's look at monthly too. And on monthly, you can actually see that on monthly, gold is what? On monthly, gold is even on the highest high that we can actually see. Gold is on the highest high that we can actually see. But smart money concept still tells us of the fact that price is coming back to at least retest this highest high. Price is coming back to retest this particular highest high. But that's for people who can actually swing trade and has the capacity of risking what they have. That is for people who can actually do that. But let's look at some of us that would actually want to make profits during the course of the day. Now, this is where price is currently. This is where price is currently, and since price actually got to this region, we saw market moving in an upward direction. At least got rejected with this particular support. For today, I'm actually expecting price to at least do a kind of buy, at least from this particular region, getting to this particular region. Yes, I'm actually expecting price to do more of that. I don't know whether I can actually give just one position on all right, on gold. All right, but for my bias on gold will be that I expect gold to go back up, at least come back to test this particular region. Yes, and if not much, come back to test this area. This is where fair value gap comes in. I'm expecting gold to come back to test this particular area. All these field orders, I'm expecting gold to come back and get this orders that has actually been filled. Although it did it here, but of course, I'm still expecting gold to come back here. So for today, just enter for a favorable buy at this particular point, and for a sell, if you want to enter for a sell on gold, I'm expecting you to take it slow. Let price breaks below this particular turncoat region. You can actually see that it just touched it here and then went back up. So if you want to do something that is favorable in the market, let it break this place and probably close below. Yes, let it break this place and probably close below this place. That's when we can actually enter for a sell. Yeah, but let's look at it on 30 minutes time frame to see if there's anything we can actually. You can actually see that even on 30 minutes time frame is also advisable, because we saw markets doing this. So allow price break below, break and settle below. Then you can actually enter for a sell at this particular region. So today on gold, you can enter for a sell. You can enter for a sell at price level 2161.13, while you take your profit at price level 2156.17. All right. Alternatively, you can enter for a buy at 2170.83, while you take your profit at 21 75.67. I believe that's a very good entry on gold for us today. All right, so let's do US 100, US 2000, as well as I'll use the same analysis for US 100, US 2000, as well as US 30. All right, I'll use the same analysis for them. All right, so looking at US 100, I believe a lot of people have actually been waiting to see what we can get on US 100. Now, one of the news which I did which we did said this morning when I was looking at Forex factory is the fact that we have what says China says US subsidies, tax incentives for domestic chip sector discriminating. We have US coming up with China rather coming up with this how do I call it now? Coming up with this news. Yeah. Okay. So so for today on this particular instrument, aside from this news which we've actually did got from them, we have other news. Yes, let me put it that way. So we have other news which is actually affecting US 100, and I'm talking about some of this other news which is actually affecting US 100. We actually see that markets feed up on Fed, and this is talking about the interest rates that the Fed didn't really increase, and he also did give more like a boost for them. Let's look at it on a daily time frame to see if market has actually gained more like its highest highs. Also, let's look at it on a monthly time frame. Okay, so even on a monthly time frame, you can actually see that this particular instrument is actually on its highest on a monthly time frame. This particular instrument is on its highest high. Now on 4 hours time frame, let me look at what is doing on 4 hours time frame. Now on 4 hours time frame, you can actually see that markets got to a support region around this particular place, and it's trying to push itself up. So I'm actually expecting at least a little push up from this particular instrument for today, and peradventure, if you want to enter for a sell, maybe we would enter. That is if price breaks the area of support which we've been having before. Now let's look at it on 1 hour time frame, and this is what we have on 1 hour time frame. This is what we have on 1 hour time frame. So for today, on this particular instrument, you can enter for US 100, you can enter for a buy at price level 18598.70, 18598.70, while you take your profits at price level 18625.03, 18625.03. Then for a sell, what I will be doing for a sell, I would make that sell entry very small. Yes, I'll make that sell entry very small, because I expect the market to at least push down a bit. All right, so for that sell, we can enter for a sell on this same instrument at price level 18551.63, 18551.63, while we'll take our profit at price level 18515.52, 18515.52. Let me look at this lastly on 30 minutes time frame to see whether okay, fine, very very apt. So it's easier for price to actually break below this particular region on 30 minutes time frame. All right, so you can actually enter for this particular instrument just as it is. Now this same movement, let's look at US 2000. Now for US 2000, we actually did discovered that most of these industries which we have on US 2000s are more of a manufacturing industry, and whatever happens to consumer prices as well as purchasing price index has so much effect on this particular market. So what we would actually be doing for today is to take a very short order. All right, I want us to take a very just a very short order from this particular market, and in doing this for US 2000, okay, in doing this for US 2000, I would want us to enter for a buy on US 2000 at price level 2125.3, while you take your profit at 2128.5. 2125.3, while you take your profits at 2128.5. And alternatively, you can enter for a sell on this instrument at 2118.9, while you take your profits at 2115.5. 2118.9, and you take your profit at 2115.5. Then US 30, before I go back to DE40 for my last analysis for today. Yes, now US 30. Standing on that same protocol, you'd see also that US 30 is also on his highest high on the monthly time frame, and when we look at it on a daily time frame too, we see that market is trying to since it has actually did touched its ISM high, it's trying to just come down a bit to recuperate. It's time to come down a bit to recuperate. Now, let's look at this on let's say a lower time frame to see. Now, on lower time frame, you see that it's too far from our entry, so I would do a kind of readjustment. I'll do a kind of readjustment now. With this my new readjustment now, let's look at it on 30 minutes time frame to see whether market could actually go to trigger it. Yes, now on 30 minutes time frame, you can actually see that it's actually a very good and perfect entry for us for US 30. So on US 30, you can enter for a buy on this instrument if price breaks above this trigger line of mine, and you can enter for a buy at price level 40229, while you take your profit at price level 40282. 40229, and you take your profit at 40282. Then alternatively, for a sell on this particular instrument, enter for a sell at 40158, 40158, while you take your profits at price level 40104, price level 40104. Lastly, let me look at DE40, what this particular market has been doing. And I can actually tell you that DE40 has also been at its own highest high, and more like it following the same momentum or direction which US 30 has actually been doing. Well, fine. For this particular instrument, we have more of German stocks in this particular instrument, ranging from Mercedes and as well as some other metallic companies, which has actually been doing very fine. Yes, they've been doing fantastically fine. And this is this particular instrument on a, how do I call it now? This is this same instrument on a monthly time frame. You can actually see that it's actually on its highest high too. And look at it on 4 hours time frame. We can actually see a kind of retracement that market is trying to do. Market will only do a retracement so that it can actually have the momentum or capacity to push up the more. All right, so and looking at this particular instrument, let's look at it on 30 minutes time frame to see what we're doing. Now, on 30 minutes time frame, you can actually see that the price are too outrageous, and we want to bring it very close so that it's something market could get to easily or touch easily. Now, I'll be opting for more of a sell, more of a buy. That is, if this particular price is able to break above this trigger line of mine, I would be entering for more of a buy. Then I'll look to take my profits before it gets to this the highest of what the market did for today. All right, so on this particular instrument, I would be entering for a buy at price level. Now I'll enter for a buy at price level 18430.6, while I take my profits at 18451.6. 18430.6, while I take my profits at 18451.6. Now, alternatively for my sell, I'll be entering for a sell at 184 0.1.6. 0.1.6, while I do my take profit at 18378.8. 18378.8. 18378.8. All right, that is that on today's edition of morning market review. All these entries or positions I've actually given you, you can actually mark it out on your chart the same way I've actually did marked mine. Then you can actually do your own normal strategy in terms of what you do. You can do your own normal strategy in terms of what you do to see where market is going, and you can also add your own input, do your own recorrection and the likes. And this is what we've actually come to see in the markets. If you've taken GBP USD, you'll have been in profits by now, and you'll have even been out of the markets. It has gotten to take profit. And for Euro USD, it's still in order. You might be in negative, but just hold on. You'd definitely be in the market. And for USD JPY, it will have triggered you, and definitely you'd still be in the market. USD CAD, it just triggered you. You'll be in the market. NZD USD, yes, to trigger. GBP CAD has triggered you, and you'd be in the market, and your profit are actually some pips away from you. And oil is yet to trigger, but would soon go in terms for your buy. Just like I said, market will come back to at least retest this region. And for gold, it's coming back just like we did add. So market is actually doing a push up. So I expect it to do better. And for US 100, market would also be in your favor for DE40. All these markets are actually very good and favorable entries. All right, somebody is also saying that Cyril is saying thank you so much for your analysis. I made profit on GBP USD. All right, so that's that for that instrument. Yes, you can set that. I said it earlier on that for GBP USD, I'm expecting you to do a buy limit. That is what I said. I said I'm expecting you to do a buy limit, and actually there's for someone who is saying GBP USD is not in TP, you need to actually do maybe I don't know what you did entered for, but if it's the entry I actually gave you is already in take profit already. All right, so thank you for today, and do have a wonderful weekend. You can reach out to your account officer if you have anything to do. Reach out to your account officer; they will actually put you through. And always be open-minded. If you need analysis or you need somebody to talk to, reach out to your account officers. They can actually be in the best position to analyze the market to you. I still remain your favorite humble host. My name is Oluwafemi. All right, thank you, and do have a wonderful time.